For baseball here in the Motor City, game 2 in this 3-game series featuring the visiting Angels and your Detroit Tigers. It is a warm evening here at the ballpark tonight. Our game time temperature this evening 88 degrees, a little bit of humidity, not a whole lot, but clear nonetheless. And the Tigers getting set to try and even things up in this series against the LA Angels. By the way, if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, make sure you bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Mike Scioscia in his 13th season now at the helm of the Angels, a 2-time manager of the year in the American League, and we'll check out his starting lineup tonight. The Angels starting lineup is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. It'll be Mike Trout leading it off in center field, then Torrey Hunter in right, Howie Kendrick at second base, Mark Trumbo is at first, Callaspo at third base tonight, Morales the DH, and a bottom 3 of Ibar, Wells, and Bobby Wilson doing the catching tonight for the Angels. The Tigers starter is Drew Smyly, and he is brought tonight, Craig, by Soaring Eagle Casino. As we look at his numbers, Smyly has done some pretty good work in his first shot of the big leagues this year.
Oh, yeah, man. I think he shows with his poise, Mario, the way he goes about his business. He's one of those guys that he has this sneaky fastball, and he has a nice little cutter to keep righties off balance. Today he'll be challenged, though. He's going to have to hit his locations, go in and out, up and down, and keep this team here that's hitting really well off balance.
And we'll see the defense behind Drew Smyly in this one, presented by Beaumont Health System. For the Tigers in the outfield, Delman Young again is out at left field, with Jackson and Dirks out there as well. Fielder and Baker at the corners, Peralta and Fonte up the middle. In your battery tonight is Alex Sevilla and Drew Smyly as the Tigers try and pick up a win here in game 2 in this series. Andy Dirks will get the call out in right field this evening. Dirks' bat in the lineup here against the right-handed pitcher Dan Herron tonight. Mike Trout is settling into the batter's box, and we are ready for baseball. The first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Mike Trout. Trout batting .285, or make it .345, I beg your pardon. And for Trout, it's been a big season all the way around. He's a guy that has put up some monster numbers this year for the Angels. The 0-1 pitch is a little bit outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 24 home runs. He has knocked in 72 this season. Smyly has not made a start in the big league since July the 6th. There's a foul tip into the glove, 1-2. Good looking young player here, Craig, and Mike Trout. This is a guy that has done a lot at a very young age in this game. Absolutely.
There's nothing this kid can't do on the baseball field. When you watch him, he makes some great plays. Obviously uses the whole field, got some big pound power.
Here's the 1-2, and it's hit on the ground back up the middle. Johnny Peralta scoops it up on a couple of hops, and he throws it out. 1 gone.
Not to mention he got some speed.
He's got some speed as well.
Sir.
He'll steal you some bags. But the Tigers have really held him in check in this series. 0 for 6 so far. Torrey Hunter will step in now for the Angels. Hunter batting in the 2 slot in the lineup tonight for Mike Scioscia, batting .296. And he as well was 0 for 3 in last night's ball game. It was a ball game dominated by the starting pitching last evening. Smyly delivers low, 1-0.
Little intake. That's Torrey Hunter's my big brother, by the way, Mario.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
He's your man.
He's my man. Worked out with him 4 years.
Here's the 1-0. Well, he can probably tell you about longevity in this game because he's been around a long time and still playing at a very high level.
You know what? He worked. I mean, he is a tremendous worker. He works harder than I've ever seen any guy work. And getting the opportunity to work out with him showed me what it takes to even play at this level.
What can a guy like Hunter mean to the young guys on this Angels ball club?
I guarantee he means everything to Trout, because here's a guy that plays center field and not just played it. He played it really well. And I guarantee you he is talking to Trout and telling him about different things of where to play, back, forward. I mean, doing a lot of things that's helpful for that organization.
Well, Torrey, since the All-Star break, batting at a .338 clip. He's ahead in the count here, 3-1 against Smyly. And he missed it inside, ball 4. So it's a 1-out base on balls for Torrey Hunter. And that'll bring up Howie Kendrick. The thing about this Angels lineup, and we talked about this at the top of the show here today, is they can beat you in so many ways. They've got guys that can run. They've got guys that can hit with power. Kind of tough to defend.
Well, Drew's going to have to hold Torrey on here because he's a threat to run. Keep him close.
And the first pitch is in for a strike on Kendrick. Howie in last night's ball game was hitting 6th. He's been elevated to 3 in the lineup tonight for the Angels. Hunter down at first base. 7 swipes this year.
Tough to steal off of lefties, Mario. You've got to really make sure that they're going home. And the lefties like to hold it. They like to hold it a little bit to see if you're going to go. And when you take off, they're just going to throw it over the first base and pretty much get you out.
And Smiley trying to do the exact thing here to Hunter. Keep him close. There's a foul straight back. No balls and 2 strikes. Were there lefties that really gave you problems when you tried to steal a bag in your playing days?
All of them. All of them. I didn't like any of them. Well, because it was tough because you didn't know if they were reading or if they were going to the plate. So you had to be careful on when you decided to take off. But I would just go first move. You got to go first moves on lefties.
0-2 on Howie Kendrick. And Drew again back to the bag at first base. Just underway here at the ballpark. Tigers and Angels game 2 in this series. Angels have won 4 straight. Tigers had been really hot at home prior to being slowed down last night. And the 0-2. Missed it inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kendrick has hit safely in 21 of his last 23 games. Had a couple of doubles and in fact drove in their 2 runs last night. As the slugging Mark Trumbo waits on deck. No Albert Pujols again in the lineup tonight for the Angels, so they're a little bit short-handed. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Smiley strikes out Kendrick.
Murray, this pitch here that Smiley just threw on the cutter on the inside part of the plate, as a right-hand hitter, you just can't lay off of it. And it is a deadly pitch for him to come inside and be able to do that. So you look for him to do that a lot tonight against these right-hand hitters.
And as a result, the first strikeout of the game for Drew. Now Mark Trumbo will step in. Trumbo's hit 30 home runs, batting .285. And he looks at strike 1 on the outer edge. How important is it for Smiley to pitch inside to even guys like Trumbo who can turn on a pitch and drive it out of the ballpark?
Well, Murray, that's how you have success. You've got to use both sides of the plate, and especially even though he hits home runs, you've got to go in there and challenge him just to keep him honest on the outside part of the plate.
Swing and a miss. 0-2.
The TNT boys, brothers, swinging it.
Trout and Trumbo, they have been a show this year in Anaheim, that is for sure. Trumbo's 30 home runs, a career high. We're talking about this last night. He put on a show at the All-Star game, the home run hitting contest as well. Swing and a miss, and Smiley strikes him out. And that is that for the Angels. No runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts for Drew Smiley. Good start for the Tigers lefty. Set to take their first swings of this ball game tonight as we go to the bottom of the first here at Comerica Park. Tigers starting lineup tonight presented by Big Boy. It's Jackson, Infante, Cabrera at the top, Prince in the middle along with Delman Young and Andy Dirks in right. And you've got Peralta, Avila, and Baker rounding out the Tigers starting lineup in this one. Dan Herron is the starting pitcher for the Angels. He is presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet of Rochester, and he's gotten hammered around a little bit his last two, Craig, but when he's on, he's pretty good. No, he is definitely. When he's good, he is good. Today they'll have to be careful, though. They'll have to take that changeup. He's got a really good fastball, so they're going to have to sit off, and you got to take that split finger, which is tough to do, Mario, especially when it's coming out of that same arm angle. Yeah, Herron has racked up quite a few wins over the course of his career, and he throws a strike to Jackson. 1-1 the count. But if you're patient, if you be patient, he'll make a mistake. He'll give you a pitch to hit, and the Tigers are just going to have to be ready for it. AJ last night was 0 for 4, and Herron delivers a little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Jackson now is at 309 with 13 home runs. That is a career high, and he's also knocked in 53. Here's the 2-1. Craig, we've talked about Jackson upping the home run totals this year. 13 is a career high. What do you think is the ceiling for a guy like this in terms of his power? Well, I think with the adjustments that he made with getting rid of that leg kick and really now being able to see the ball a lot better, let that ball travel, now he's in a good, strong hitting position, and he's going to be able to drive the ball, what he's showing and what he's been doing here lately. Herron just missed. He is, I would say, a much stronger kid than he appears to be physically. Yeah, I was down in the clubhouse today. He's got some guns on him. Here's the 3-2. Lifted in the air to right field. Hit pretty well. Hunter going back to the track in front of the wall to make the catch. He almost made us look good. Here's the rest of the Angels defense tonight, brought to you by Tim Hortons. The Halos line it up like this. It'll be Wells, Trout, and Hunter in the outfield. On the infield, Trumbo and Callaspo at the corners. Ibar and Kendrick, the double play combination. Herron and Wilson is your battery tonight for L.A. Bobby Wilson getting the call tonight. Chris Iannetta caught the ball game last night. Here's Omar Infante. Ball 1 to Infante. 292 in a Tigers uniform has been a really, really good pickup at the deadline. The Tigers made no beef about the fact that they wanted another pitcher and maybe as important another second baseman. That's flared back out of play. And Infante has filled that void. Well, they went out and they've got a good one. I mean, here's a guy that knows how to handle the ball on the bases. He steals bases. He hits home runs. He jumps all over the fastball. And he's just one of those guys, Murray, that you just need on your team. And he hits Herron well also. 6 for 12 against Dan Herron. Well, again, we'll get back out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Infante. You like those guys too, Mo. When you're hitting well off of them, you like it because the ball looks big when it's coming out of their hand. You get excited. So you would show up at the ballpark on any given night and you would see who's pitching, and if it's a guy that you've raked against before, you're in a pretty good frame of mind. Oh, in a frame of mind, I'm ecstatic. I'm ready to get in the batter's box. Here's the 1-2. Bouncing ball foul, third base side. Herron is one of those guys as well, Simo, that has a slight hesitation in his windup. And you don't see a whole lot of this, but how much of an effect does this have on you as a hitter? Well, we all know hitting is timing, and when guys are being able to hold it and do these different things, it does messes with the hitter timing a little bit. So on deck, that's when it's important that you have to do your timing. Swing and a miss, and Infante goes down, 2 gone. First strikeout of the ball game for Dan Herron. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera, who had a nice night last night. Two-base hit in the 6th inning for Cabrera down the left field line, and this ball he hit out last night went a long way. Yeah, he did. This guy here leads by example. He's hurting a little bit, but he's in the lineup. He knows what he means to this team, and he's out there and he's putting it on the line every day. This is a time where it's time to do it. It is, and for Cabrera, he almost hit another ball out last night. His first at bat, he hit one about 400 feet that the wind knocked down to dead center. Heron missing outside 1-1.
Yeah, watching him hit balls out to dead center here. Murray, I haven't seen many balls hit out there. He makes Comerica Park look pretty small.
Pretty tough to do, too.
Yes, it is.
Here's the 1-1. In for a strike on the outer edge, 1-2. Well, he's not really fond of DHing. I don't know too many that are, but in that DH category, not bad.
Well, the DH can be tough. It can really be tough. All you get to think about is your hitting.
He'll drive that one to center field. Trout is on the run. He'll get there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dan Heron. No runs, no hits, nobody left. On our way to the second. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Dodge, take advantage of the great deals at the Dodge Summer Clearance event going on now. And by Kraft, make something amazing. Back here at the ballpark on a very warm evening for baseball. It is still scoreless as we go to the top of the second. Mario Impemba with Craig Monroe filling in for Rod Allen tonight. And Drew Smiley back to the hill. Alberto Callaspo leads it off for the Angels. It'll be Callaspo, Morales, and Ibar. Drew had a pretty good first inning, walked a batter, but struck out Kendrick and then Trumbo.
Yeah, he worked those guys really well. He went outside on them, and then he came back in with that really good cutter on the inside part of the plate.
1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Drew, of course, has spent some time on the disabled list, and to kind of get you reacquainted with him, he won that 5 spot in the rotation with a really good spring camp. He pitched exceedingly well. Broke camp with the team, and you know that 5 spot, Craig, sometimes we don't pay too much attention to it because the Tigers have a lot of guys at the top of their rotation that are upper level elite type guys, but Smiley, I think, has really held his own this year.
He's definitely held his own, but he's valuable too. I think we get confused or get mistaken that how important these guys are at the bottom of that rotation, especially being the 5th guy.
Johnny handles this one, and pass goes out. 1 gone, and we remind you this game is available tonight in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Does it still surprise you at all these guys getting to the big leagues as young as they are? I mean, Smiley hasn't had a whole lot of professional experience.
No, and I think that's where the game is changing. It's going to guys where now guys are 19, 20 years old. They're in the big leagues. And I like it, though, Mario. I like the fact that these guys are getting in here and they're learning on the job.
Well, I think it's good for the game when you infuse a lot of good young talent in the game. And I think we've seen a lot of it throughout the course of this year in the big leagues. Strasburg and, of course, Trout and Bryce Harper, just to name a few. Kendrys Morales hits a bouncing ball to short. Johnny will handle this one as well, and there are 2 gone. So that's 4 in a row retired by Smiley. That'll bring up Eric Ibar. Ibar batting .279. He's hit 7 home runs this year. And he's a guy that is not afraid to bunt. He leads the majors with 15 bunt hits.
This is when you talk about manufacturing runs. Keep this guy off the base pad, because that's what he's capable of doing, is creating runs.
We've seen this Angels team on many occasions be able to come back in games because they can hit with power and they can find guys to get on base. And Mike Scioscia has always been an aggressive manager. 1 ball, no strikes. Smiley, in his last start before going on the disabled list, actually had maybe his best start. He struck out 10 against the Royals. Here's a strike called, 1-1. One of 2 rookies to post an outing of 10 strikeouts or more and no walks. The other, of course, was Eric Erickson back in 1918. You were watching baseball back then, weren't you?
Yeah, right.
Eric Erickson in 1918.
1918.
He was going up against the likes of Shoeless Joe and some other really good players. The 2-1 is high. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ibar last night had his 6-game hitting streak snapped. As you look at Vernon Wells waiting on deck. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Another ground ball to short. Peralta with a running scoop, and 3 up, 3 down with 3 ground balls. 4 assists already for Peralta, and a good start for Drew. Success in a Tigers uniform. We remember all the times that Simo was able to leave the park. He did some really good work in the postseason back in 2006. 5 home runs in the postseason. And Simo, you were a better outfielder, I think, than people give you credit for.
You know what? I took pride in my defense. I enjoyed making plays for the pitcher. I enjoyed throwing guys out, and defense was fun.
Here's Prince Fielder to lead things off, and he looks at a strike.
That's why it's tough being a DH, where you don't get to make plays
That's
like
right.
that.
Go back in there and think about that last at bat. Dan Heron brings home the 0-1 pitch, and Prince whistles it foul. Well, you've seen the Prince up close and personal now for almost a full season. He's a different guy in my mind than the one you see on TV when he played with Milwaukee. When you see him up close, he's different.
Oh, he's a teddy bear. He loves the game, though. Obviously, talking to him, he talked about hitting here at Comerica Park. how it's made him a better hitter. He feels like now that he doesn't have to try to hit home runs. He thinks about driving balls hard to left center, getting on top of them and driving them through the fence. And obviously he's having a really good year.
Much better athlete than I think many of us thought he was or gave him credit for. One has popped up foul back out of play.
Well, he plays the game the right way. I mean, every day, day in, day out, you see him hit a ground ball. He hustles down to first base. He's digging out a double. He's getting the big slide that we like to see. He knows how to play the game, and he plays it right.
321 this year here at Comerica Park, with 14 of his home runs coming at home. Herron's 1-2. You hit on something there, because he's a guy that, as you mentioned, that goes out every single day. And those guys, every now and then, might take a play or two off, might not run out a ground ball, but you just don't see that with Prince.
No, not at all. Very professional.
Delvin Young waiting on deck. And again, the 1-2. Driven down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Up against the wall. Prince on his way to second. And he's in there. Look out. Overslid the bag, and he is out at second. A little bit too much momentum going into second base.
Yeah, but you gotta love how he swings the bat here. Take a look here. It's a 1-2 pitch. Here's a guy that's not thinking pull. He's thinking the other way, and he's able to pull his hands inside and drive this ball to right field.
I think Prince was caught between going in, standing up, and sliding.
Well, he's more like tumbling. But that's all right.
Or tumbling in the second.
He was trying to get there, and that's how you play the game.
Here is Delvin Young now. He bats with one out. So it'll be a single for Prince, and he's thrown out at second base. Delvin batting .265, was 0 for 4 last night. There's a line drive into right. That's going to drop. Base hit, maybe more. It's going to go to the gap. This might be a triple. Delvin on his way to second is going to stop. They got it in quickly. Torrey Hunter ran out there. It's a double.
Nice piece of hitting by Delvin there, too. Sitting and talking to him in the clubhouse a little bit today, and he was talking about making a couple adjustments, moving up on the plate a little bit to make that fastball outside appear to be a little closer, and he shows right there that it was a little closer. He stays inside and drives his ball to right center, gets himself a double.
They've actually ruled that fielder ball a two-base hit as well, before he overslid or ran or tumbled the bag at second. Here's Dirks now trying to drive in a run. And Andy looks at ball one. Well, the Tigers really weren't able to get anything going offensively against Zach Greinke tonight, and they could have used Simo last night. You were 7 for 18 in your career against Greinke.
Well, I was telling the guys in the studio, he must have made a lot of mistakes to me, Mario, because I wasn't missing.
A couple of home runs against him as well. There's a ball outside, 2-0. Andy Dirks with an RBI opportunity. Has really flourished this year, and you wonder where his numbers would be right now had he not missed 2 months. An Achilles problem. Herron missing again, run the count to 3-0.
Well, it didn't take him no time to get back to doing what he does, and that's drive the baseball all over the field. Love watching him swing the bat. He's got a short, compact swing. He uses all field. He can drive the ball to the left. And if you miss inside, he knows how to go upper tank.
Fouled that one off. He took a 3-0 swing, and it looked like a half-hearted swing there.
Yeah, 3-0. If you're going to be swinging, you got to let it hang out.
Yeah.
Get one out front and see if you can't touch it.
Johnny Peralta waiting on deck. Jim Leland describes Andy Dirks quite simply as a ball player. He does a lot of things really well. Nothing extremely or exceedingly well. Not very flashy, but gets it done. There's another foul at home plate, 3-2.
He's also a tough out. He's a tough out. He grinds out at bats. And I think that's what Jim really loves about him, that he didn't give his bats away. He gets after it every single time that he's on the field. And like I said, those are the kind of players that you want to play for you.
3-2 on Dirks. We're in the second inning in a scoreless ball game so far. Tigers threatening, though, against Dan Herron. And he swings and strikes him out. He was out in front. Second strikeout of the ball game now for Dan Herron, and there have been some inconsistencies with Dan as we check out the Bernstein advantage. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you in his first 12. Craig, he was really good, but in his last two, how about that? 10 earned runs on 12 hits and 7 innings of work. So he's gotten knocked around a little bit last two starts.
Well, I'm sure he's went back to the drawing board a little bit and try to figure out exactly what he was doing. Hopefully he just don't do it tonight.
Here's a strike call. How much of these guys, yourself included, when you play, count on video, going back to video and watching clips?
Well, the video tells the tale. I mean, it helps you figure out little things that you're doing wrong. And it might be the smallest little thing, Mario, but it gets you right back on track.
That's low.
That's why the video is very important.
Well, Johnny Peralta's been in a little bit of a slide as well. He's only 4 for 26 on the homestand, but he can deliver a big 2-out hit here and get the Tigers their first run.
Watching Johnny, when he's going at his best too, he's doing the same thing that I talk about with Delman and guys that are right-hand hitters. They're driving balls through the big part of the field, like right center, stand inside. Like to see him do that a little bit more.
That is pulled foul, third base side. Yeah, there was a stretch maybe about a month or so ago that Peralta was getting his stroke back, and he was concentrating on hitting the ball back up the middle. And I assume that's something hitting coaches talk to you about when you're trying to get back on track.
Oh yeah, well that's the only thing that gets you back on track. When that front side starts to fly open, that's when you're in trouble. You got to be able, especially as a righty, you have to be able to cover that outside part of the plate, because that's where most of the balls are being thrown.
That'll get back out of play. 1-2 on Peralta. Fielder doubled to start the inning, but overslid the bag at second and was tagged out. And then Young doubled to right center. And now Peralta with 2 away. The Angels pitching staff on paper is awfully imposing, awfully impressive, but second half of the season they have struggled to put up numbers to match their histories. The 1-2. He pulled that one down the left field line. That ball is hooking foul.
Mario, when you're thinking right center, though, when you're thinking right center, it actually makes you quicker on the inside pitch, because now you're just reacting. Look how Johnny pulls his hands inside here, and he's able to get the head or the bat to the ball. And yeah, it went foul, but that lets Herron knows now that, hey, you just can't come in there.
And we'll see what he comes back with here on 1-2. Swing and a miss. He went away, and Johnny went fishing to end the inning. Third strikeout of the game for Herron. Tigers strand a man. Top three here at the ballpark in a scoreless game. Drew Smyly back to the hill, and Craig, he's had some good success going inside early in this game.
You know what, he has, Mario, and he's going to have to continue to do that. Obviously, throwing that cutter inside, getting guys to jam, especially from a lefty. When you talk about facing a lefty as a righty, Mario, you talk about letting the ball travel, you know, trying to hit the ball the other way. Well, you see exactly what Smyly is doing here. He's throwing that cutter in on guys, and they're getting jammed. I've heard a couple broken bats. That's what you have to do to keep these guys off balance.
Yeah, 4 ground ball outs, and all of them hit to the shortstop, Johnny Peralta, from right-handed hitters. Here is Vernon Wells to start things off, and Vernon looks at a strike. Wells, and then Wilson, and then Trout. No runs, 2 hits for the Tigers. The Angels, no runs, no hits.
Vernon's had a lot of injuries here lately. He hadn't had a chance to really play. Music Toronto, I mean, what a talent.
Swinging a drive deep into left. This ball is hit well, and that ball is gone. Well, right on cue. Vernon Wells goes deep to put the Angels on the board. What is his 9th home run of the season? It cleared the bullpens out in left field. And that's what he did a lot of in Toronto.
Yeah, he was special. 30 home run guy, drives in 100. But here, Smyly leaves a changeup up. I mean, if you're going to be effective and pitch effective here, you're going to have to locate that pitch. At 81, 82 in the zone like that, Mario, those balls are up. You hang it up there, they're going to hit it.
Yeah, Vernon Wells has just picked up his 22nd RBI. The Angels get the game's first run. And a little celebration to boot. Here's Bobby Wilson in there for strike 1. Wilson doing the catching tonight. You would think in part because the guy that caught last night, Iannetta, is hitting only .094 against lefties.
Wow.
That's rolled foul. No balls, 2 strikes. So Vernon Wells has gone deep to lead things off here in the 3rd. And that is also the first hit of the game given up by Smyly. Here's the 0-2. Little nubber off the end of the bat. Infante will charge it. And he threw it away. Wilson is safe at first base. What happened there?
He just threw it, yeah, he threw it far, right?
It looked like a routine play.
It did.
Kind of short-armed it. And that's something you don't see Omar do all that often.
No, never. You rarely see him make these kind of mistakes. Sure-handed, slick fielder.
So that'll be the first error of the game for the Tigers. It belongs to Infante. That'll bring up Mike Trout. Trout does not have a hit in this series. Tigers have done a good job of slowing him down. He came in with a 10-game hitting streak and is now 0 for 6 in the series.
They've moved that ball around on him a little bit. They've went inside on him. They've went outside. They've went up. They're doing an excellent job of keeping him off balance.
Here's the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. And among major league rookies, how about some of these OPS numbers? He is up there with some big time names. Shoeless Joe, Ted Williams, he was pretty good.
Yes. Teammate Albert Pujols.
Here's the 2-0. 3 balls, no strikes. There is Albert out of the lineup again tonight. He's had a calf problem. There was some thought he might be able to go this evening, but don't know if he's available to pinch hit. It's a mighty good weapon sitting on the bench, though. And Albert has responded after a slow start. That's in there, 3-1.
You really want to minimize your mistakes too, Mario, at this level. You don't want to give teams extra outs. You know, you just got to make the plays, and you don't want to give them extra out. Here's a situation now. Smyly's got behind a little bit in the count, 3-1.
And we'll see what he offers up here. It's a drive to center field right at Jackson. AJ started back. Now he recovers. One gone. Well, we have a chance. Let's go back to the studio now. Time for a game break with Justin White. That's too bad, Justin. Yeah. Deal with it. Simo's in the booth tonight doing a fabulous job here.
Having a good time, too, Mario.
Good. That's what it's all about.
This is awesome.
Torrey Hunter, the batter now. And he shows bunt. Hunter walked in his first at bat.
Looked like he was trying to keep Baker, keeping him honest, making him come in a little bit so he can open up that hole.
And Torrey's done that a lot this year. In fact, he has 6 bunt singles this season.
Well, it's because you don't expect it from him, and so
right.
when you can sneak one in like that, you have to get it out.
Slow tap back toward the mound. Smiley will make the play. There was a strike to the first baseman fielder. Runner advances. There are 2 gone. So Drew, I think, has done a good job of shaking off that error now and has come back to get the next 2 hitters.
Well, we always talk about his poise and how he maintains his composure on the mound, and he just showed that right there, coming back and getting 2 good outs.
He's got one more to get, though, as Howie Kendrick steps in now, the man at second. Howie struck out in the first, 0 for 1. He has an 11-game hitting streak in progress.
When you're in a hitting streak like that, Mario, the ball looks really big. You don't know why you're in that streak, though.
Did you like talking about it? I know some players would not want to be interviewed when they had a long
I didn't
streak,
want to talk. Well, we can talk, but I'm not talking about my hitting.
Superstitions abound, that's for sure. And Kendrick looks at ball 1 outside.
You want to put on the same socks. You want to put on the same stirrups, the same everything. You don't want to change anything. You want the same bat.
Now, you weren't superstitious, were you? Of course you were. You were a ball player.
I was a little bit.
Here's the 1-0. That's a strike. 1-1.
Ate the same food.
I was about to ask that.
I did.
Yeah.
I would eat the same food when I was in the streak. I didn't want to mess it up.
Now, what if you had like a nasty sardine sandwich the first day of the streak and you had like a 15-game going? You'd have to eat that every day, wouldn't you?
I would eat it every day, Mario.
2-1 on Howie Kendrick. The Smiley gave up the leadoff homer to Wells here in the third, trying to pitch around the air by Infante. Kendrick had a couple of hits last night, had the 2-run double, which provided all of the Angels offense. Fouled straight back 2-2. Both of Kendrick's doubles last night, Craig, came on 0-2 pitches, and there can't be a worse feeling for a pitcher to give up an 0-2 hit.
No, not at all. And that as a hitter, though, that's when you get excited. You know that he's mad because he let you off the hook, really, because when you're in 0-2, they can pretty much do anything they want to get you out. There's so many pitches that they can throw. But Kendrick's one of those guys, too, as a righty. I mean, he's had a lot of success in the big leagues, and he thinks up the middle to right center, and that's why he's able to get to a lot of pitches.
The 2-2 is low. Run it full now. 3-2 on Kendrick. Well, here is that double in the 6th inning last night, and as you mentioned, it was up the middle.
It was up in the zone a little bit, and you can see there when guys are standing inside the ball, these are the kind of hits that they're going to get, and that's to the big part of the field.
Full count, 3-2 on Howie Kendrick. Smiley in this game has struck out a couple of batters. He's gotten a lot of ground balls early in this contest. And again, the 3-2. That's going to get to right field, base hit. He went the other way. Rumbling around third is Wilson. Here comes the throw, and it's not in time. Wilson will score, and Kendrick has a 2-out hit. And it's 2-0 LA.
This is not a bad pitch here, Mario, but you see the same deal. You guys keep hearing me talk about staying inside the ball, but this is how you have success. This is how you hit 300, the higher 330s, and you talk about hitting in the big league level. You've got to stay inside the ball. For my young hitters that are listening, you've got to stay inside the ball and drive it to right center.
And now a 12-game hitting streak for Kendrick, who has yet another 2-strike hit in this series. That's his 47th RBI, and it lengthens the inning now for Mark Trumbo. And he looks at ball one. Seems like they take advantage of mistakes. Anytime you open the door a little bit, they're there to bust it in.
Yeah, that's what this game's about. You've got to wait him out until he makes one. And when he makes one, you've got to make him pay.
Now the 1-0. And Trumbo out of that front foot, couldn't pull the trigger. 1-1.
Yeah, that's a good 1-0 change up there. You think about it, 1-0's a hitter's count. You're looking fastball, and then he's able to throw that changeup. So he was off balance a little bit.
Trumbo struck out in the first, one of the two that Smiley had. And he hits the outside corner. 1-2.
Now he's got him set up, Mario. This is what you do. You throw him a we throw him a changeup. He's out front. Now you sneak a fastball by him. Now you can kind of play with him a little bit. Maybe go up high. Fastball outside.
Smiley had an easy 1-2-3 second, but Vernon Wells homered against him to start things off here in the third. And it's been a long half inning now for Drew, trying to get that final out. Ahead of Mark Trumbo, the cleanup man, who's hit 30 home runs this year. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out again. Nicely done. 3 punch outs for Drew, but 2 runs in for the Angels. Baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Arby's. Play Arby's new Snap and Rock promotion. Snap a picture of your cup, send and win. And by AT DET, the nation's largest 4G network. AT DET, rethink possible. And before the game today here at the ballpark, Tiger great Willie Horton was signing copies of his book, The People's Champion. And one of my favorite things here at the ballpark is to be sitting in the dining room, have Willie walk by and say, "How you doing, son?" He does it every night.
Yeah, that was one of the special things about playing here and being a Tiger, is that you got a chance to talk to greats. Willie Horton, Al Kaline.
Oh, it had to be awesome.
Oh,
and,
the best.
And they're around the ballpark every night.
Every night you can pick their brain. I mean, they're here to give you the information that you want and need to be successful at this level.
Great resource. Alex Avila leading it off against Dan Herron. Ball missing outside. You know you're big time when you have a statue.
Oh, yeah.
As Willie does. Number 23 immortalized here at the ballpark, Willie Horton. Here's the 1-1. The thing about Willie is he has so much pride in this city. Back in 2006 when the Tigers made the playoffs, I had a chance to interview him, and he was nearly in tears. I mean, he was so happy for the city.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it.
1-2 on Avila.
He calls me mall digger.
I never understood that.
Neither.
What's that mean?
Whatever it was, it sounded good to me, and I liked it.
It sounded tough.
Yes.
The 1-2 is a bouncer right back up the middle. Kendrick has it and has time to throw Avila out. One gone. Well, the division race heats up with a weekend showdown against the Chicago White Sox next Friday through Sunday. Tickets still available. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. And boy, is that going to be fun. Those White Sox are not going anywhere, are they?
No, they're not going anywhere. This is when it gets fun, though. This is the fun part of baseball.
Late August into September.
Yes.
You start to feel the finish line. Baker sends one in the air. Shallow left field. Vernon Wells comes on to make the play. Still has some wheels out there.
Yeah, when you've got three guys out there that are center fielders, there's not going to be many balls that drop, Mario. These guys can run them down.
Wells, Trout, and Hunter can certainly cover a lot of ground. And Torrey had an assist in the last half inning as well. Here is Austin Jackson with 2 outs. Aaron got him to fly out his first time up. 1-0 on Austin. Herron is 31 years of age now. He's out of Monterey Park, California. He's been with several different teams. Arizona, Oakland. And he'll get back out of play. He is pitching on 8 days rest after allowing, as we mentioned, the 10 runs in his last 2 starts. And so far tonight, looked pretty good. Did give up a couple of doubles, but no runs in the second. Jackson fights it off. 1-2. What is it about Jackson's defensive ability that strikes you the most?
Well, first of all, he's just a smart outfielder. He knows where to position himself to give himself the best chance to get to a baseball. He also just, that first 3 steps, you can tell right there, because Jackson makes those first 3 steps hard, and that allows him to get to a lot of balls that most center fielders or most outfielders are not going to be able to get to.
He strikes out to end the inning. Herron cruising along now, a 1-2-3 third. Top of the fourth inning, Tigers continue along on this homestand, which has featured some good pitching, but offensively, Craig, it's just kind of surprising with the talent the Tigers have in this lineup. The offensive numbers have been down a little bit.
They have been down a little bit, but I think you got to give the pitchers some credit too. Those guys out there got a job to do. They're trying to get you out. They're paid to get you out, and sometimes they're going to get you out.
Well, it'll be Callaspo to start things off here in the fourth. And the first pitch is in for a strike. As Jim Leland likes to say, the other side likes to give scholarships too.
Yes, they do. You don't like to tip your hat, though, Mario, but sometimes you have to.
Here's the 0-1 to Callaspo. And it's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Callaspo is 0 for 1. He bounced out back in the second. Getting the start at third base in this game here tonight. 52 pitches now for Smiley. A way to miss. 1-2.
I like that he's been getting ahead of the count, though. Now he's able to change some speeds, do some different things. And that's going to be important for him throughout this game, is to continue to keep these guys off balance.
That time he came in with a fastball away and missed. 2-2. Kendrys Morales lurking on deck for the Angels. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Pulled to third base right at Baker. 1 out. Smiley getting another ground ball. Is that an indication of anything?
Well, what he did was he showed him that fastball away because he wanted him to think about him going away again. And then he was able to throw that cutter back inside, get a nice ground ball, get him out.
As he did back in the second when he got 3 ground ball outs. Here's Kendrys Morales. He hit one of those back in the second. Kendrys batting in the 6th position here tonight. In for strike 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. The thing I've noticed about Smiley is he works at a pretty decent pace, and I would imagine you've been behind some guys that are slow workers that tend to bog the game down a little bit.
Well, this actually, the way he's working now, allows you to stay in the game, stay on the balls of your feet, to be ready to make some plays.
Driven in the air to center field. Jackson is on his horse, still going back. He looks up. Austin is there, and he dropped the ball. Morales on his way to second base, and he'll pull in there. AJ got there, but just couldn't close the deal.
Looked like he got a little turned around there. Yeah, when you find yourself backpedaling in a way, that ball, especially coming off a right-hand bat, it's going to go to the right. And I think what Jackson did was he ran a little too much to the left, and that ball started to fade right, and he wasn't able to get behind it like he wanted to.
So a 1-out base runner now for the Angels. That's an error charge to Jackson. That, I believe, is his first of the year.
Yeah, I think so. You're not going to see too many of those.
June 29th of 2011 was his last error. It's been a while. Here's the 0-1. Ball high to Eric Ibar. So Jackson went 174 games between errors.
That's impressive, Mario.
It is. This is a very big center field here at Comerica Park. A lot of ground to cover.
And he covers it. And he covers it well.
Ibar is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Fouled straight back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ibar bounced out to the shortstop Peralta back in the second. Batting .278 for the year. So the Tigers in this game have committed 2 errors now. The Angels made good on the first one, the error by Infante. And that is sliced inside the bag at first base. Morales coming around third. They're going to score him. Ibar will go to second with a slicing double to right. And the Angels indeed take advantage of the error. 3-0.
Well, that cutter there was left out over the plate. And again, you see it there. He's just trying to flail it over to right field. And he did just that and got himself a big knock. RBI.
That was almost like a tennis shot. He just served one out there to first base side. And that is the 37th RBI of the year now for Ibar. And Jeff Jones coming out to have a chat now with Smiley. And as they talk about that, we'll remind you next Saturday, Fox Sports Networks and FX are the places to turn for college football. On FSN, Appalachian State takes on Eastern Carolina. On FX, Marshall battles 11th ranked West Virginia. Then 4th rated Oklahoma takes on UTEP on FSN. College football begins next Saturday at noon on FSN and FX. Big college football fan?
Yes. I'm a Texas kind of guy.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm a hook 'em horns kind of guy.
That's a dumb question.
Yeah.
Coming from Texas. That is football crazy. Here's Vernon Wells. Runner goes. Here comes the throw to third. Tag. Got him.
Nice throw.
Boy, Avila's been unbelievable, hasn't he?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. He has been unbelievable. Great, footwork there. Getting rid of the baseball. Right on the money.
And Baker was waiting to apply the tag.
That's textbook.
So the aggressiveness of the Angels does not help them out in this inning. Base is empty now. The 1-0 pitch. In for a strike.
I like that Jeff went out, though. Jonesy went out and talked to Smiley because Smiley's been pitching really good. He just told him probably go back, keep doing what you're doing. Those are a couple of bleeder blue pits that you've given up. Keep doing exactly what you're doing, using both sides of the plate. And obviously, he's obviously doing that right now.
That's a good point. And of course, he's not been helped out by the 2 errors the Tigers have committed. And the little bloop double by Ibar. Ball inside. And now it's 3-1 on Vernon Wells. There was, however, nothing cheap about the home run that Wells hit back in the 3rd.
Not at all.
That ball was hit deep to left. There's a line drive to left field. Another hit. So the throw out, a big play here in the 4th inning. How good has Avila been, Craig? I mean, recently this guy has really been up to the task.
Well, when you talk to Avila, he takes pride in being a really good catcher and taking control and being over that pitching staff. And this is when hard work pays off, when you're able to do the things that you've worked on. And that's throwing bullets down to second, throwing them down to third, and getting guys out. You see the little smirk? That's fun.
Well, since the DL stint, he's been at 36%. 1 strike on Bobby Wilson. He reached on an air by Infante back in the 3rd and then scored a run. 3-0 Angels lead. We're in the 4th inning. And the 0-1. Driven high in the air down the left field line. That ball is hooking, and it is a foul ball. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah, that was close. Same thing. He left that one up.
How close? Right down the line. It had the distance.
Yes, it did. Well, it's a long strike is what that is.
That's all it is. Pretty loud, too.
Yeah.
That's okay. 0-2 on Wilson. Came in batting .327 over his last 20 games, so he had picked it up offensively. And the 0-2. Got him, strike 3. Wilson is caught looking to end the inning. They get a run on a couple of hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. and you can never be too young to be a Tigers fan. We have one in attendance here tonight. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Using your cell phone, text Tigers, then a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. So the Tigers have some ground to make up now. They're down 3-0 as we go to the home part of the fourth. Omar Infante leads it off against Dan Herron. And a bender misses outside 1-0. Infante, then Cabrera, then Fielder. 2, 3, 4 in Jim Leland's lineup tonight. Herron's 1-0 is a popped up bunt. Back out of play, 1-1.
I like the thought process there from Omar. He wants to get on base. They're down 3 runs. You know, get something started, lay down a nice bunt, get some guys on base, and let the big fellas in the middle do their damage. And
by and large, that has not been a weapon the Tigers have had over the last couple of years because of the way their team has been constructed, swing and a miss.
Yeah, but they've added some guys, especially adding Omar and Quentin Berry being on this bench over there.
Right.
Here's some guys that can create and manufacture some runs.
Here's the 1-2 from Herron. And a foul tip. He held on to it for strike 3. One gone here in the fourth. Time now for the AT&T trivia question this evening. And let's see what we have here. Who are the only 2 players since 1949 to lead their leagues in average and steals? There have only been 2 players to do that since 1949. Lead their league in average and steals. Chew on that for a while. Here's Cabrera. Strike 1. Miguel in this ball game fly to center field his first time up. We have in this series perhaps the 2 best hitters in the American League. One, of course, is not playing tonight in Pujols. But how would you compare Cabrera to Albert Pujols?
Well, they're identical. They definitely are. You talk about 2 guys that don't really try to do too much. Getting a chance to get at first base and talk to Pujols and pick his brain a little bit. He talks about, hey, I'm not trying to pull the baseball. I'm literally trying to drive balls to the big part of the field. I'm thinking right center. I'm thinking right center. But then when I talk to Miguel, he tells me the exact same thing. So good hitters think alike.
Apparently so. But it also helps to have that hand-eye coordination, too.
Yes. Well, these 2 guys here, I mean, they are as good as it gets when you talk about, especially talk about right-hand hitters in the big leagues. When I'm watching and Miguel comes up, I mean, I'm a fan. He's one of the guys that I watch and want to say, wow, those are the kind of at-bats that I would have liked to have even more so.
Here's the 1-2. Bouncing in 2-2. Well, they certainly have done their share of damage over the years. And as we mentioned, Pujols not playing again tonight, but after a slow start, he has turned his season around.
Well, you knew he would. You knew he would. You couldn't keep him. You couldn't keep a good man down for long.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. In the air to right field on a line. Hunter going back, and he'll make the catch in the corner. Boy, Torrey Hunter can still get over there and get him. 2 gone. Well, since we're talking about Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols, time now for the Farmers Insurance Report Card. Active players in their careers with 300 homers, 1,000 RBIs, and a 300 career average. There aren't too many on this list.
No, not at all. Look at that list. Rodriguez, Chipper, Pujols. And you don't hear a lot about Todd Helton, but this guy, he was a really good hitter.
That's drilled to center field and a base hit for Prince. 2-out single. He's 2 for 2. It's kind of been classic Prince this year. I mean, he's gone a lot to center field and left field.
Well, I think he just realized to hit at this ballpark, these are the kind of swings that you have to take. You've got to allow guys to make mistakes. Home runs are hit off mistakes, Mario. And when you're making good pitches, he just takes what they give him.
Have a little fun, too.
Oh, yeah, he wanted that one to get down.
And it did for the Tigers' 3rd hit of the game. And spray chart now for Prince. See a lot of balls hit back through the box up the middle.
Well, that's what has impressed me the most about him, is that he's been able to drive that ball to the big part of the field, to center field. I mean, because when I first thought about having Prince Fielder, I thought about a guy that pulls and hits a lot of home runs with a really big swing. But the more and more I've gotten a chance to watch him, I'm realizing that, you know, he's a smart baseball hitter too, and he knows how to drive the ball to all fields, and that's what I've been most impressed about.
1 ball and 1 strike on Delmon Young. I wonder how much of that, Craig, has to do with the fact that when he first got here to the Tigers this year, American League pitchers were staying away from him. They would not challenge him inside, so he just basically took his base hits the other way.
Well, that's a sign of a good hitter right there, because he recognized it early what they were trying to do. Obviously, we talk about Pujols, you know, coming from the National League to the American League. He wasn't able to make that adjustment as fast, and I think you got to give Prince a lot of credit for making that adjustment.
And the 1-2, it's pulled foul just outside of the bag. 1-2, the count remains on Delmon Young. Tigers have a 2-out single here from Fielder in the 4th. Angels got 2 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th inning. Herron pretty much continuing what he has done against the Tigers. Tigers have not beaten Herron since 2007. So he has manhandled the Detroit offense over the last couple of years. Ahead of Delmon Young, 1-2. He fouled it away, spoiling a pitch out of play. Delmon in the ballgame had a double that came back in the 2nd, did not score though. Herron was able to get Dirks via the strikeout, and then Peralta via the strikeout as well. Still searching for that really big hit. And a ball down low. 2-2.
Tough pitch to lay off right there. I like that Delmon's laying off of that pitch down. I mean, we always talk about it, splitter, Herron splitter. Those are the ones you're going to have to lay off of and make him start that ball up. Get one in the middle of the plate where you can do some damage.
So it's 2-2. Right back up the middle and into center field. A base hit. Prince on his way to second. Will stop there.
Great piece of hitting right there by Delmon. Staying through that baseball. I mean, look how he keeps going. He stays through it. That when you keep that bat in the batting so that long, Mario, and you stay through it, that's how you get rewarded for staying through the baseball and getting a big knock up the middle there.
Delmon is rewarded with his 2nd hit of the game, and the Tigers have 4 overall.
It doesn't always have to be pretty. You just got to get it done.
Well, absolutely not. So here is Dirks. We'll see if he can get it done. He struck out in the 2nd. There's a ball outside. In your career, how many hits did you give back because they weren't pretty? Probably not too many. I'm sure you kept them all.
I wanted them all.
Tigers on the homestand batting just $148 with men in scoring position. Time to turn that around. And a little bouncer hit towards short. Ibar on the charge, and Dirks is out. So the Tigers threaten but strand a couple, and 4 in the books now. Still 3-0. Angels on top of the Tigers in this one. 3-0 is our score. Mario and Pemba back here at the ballpark along with Craig Monroe filling in for Rod Allen tonight. And Simo, back in your playing days, I'll bet you were down there thinking, those guys in the booth, they don't know what they're talking about. Now you're up here in the booth. You having some fun?
I am having some fun. I bet that's what they're saying down there, that he doesn't know what he's talking about up there. But no, I am having some fun. Obviously getting a chance to play on the field and now being up here, it is a difference. But it's just so much love, and I'm glad to be sitting next to Mario and Pemba.
Well, what about Dan Herron? He's been pretty good in this one. The Tigers so far have not been able to figure him out.
Well, he has. He's been throwing them both. I mean, he's been pitching balls on both sides of the plate, and he's been throwing that really good splitter, which guys haven't been able to lay off of. And when you're not laying off that pitch, Mario's going to make for a long night.
Conversely, Drew Smyly, I think, has tried to pitch around a couple of errors, so he's been somewhat of a victim here tonight.
Well, I feel like he has been a victim. He's pitched really well today. He's also changed some speeds. He's using both sides of the plate. He's throwing a really good cutter right now to these right-hand hitters, which are definitely keeping them off balance.
So Mike Trout is going to lead things off here as we go to the 5th inning. 3-0. Angels have the lead at this point. And Smyly facing the top of the lineup. Trout, Hunter, and then Kendrick. There's a big swing and a miss. 0-2. Well, the Tigers have bottled up Mike Trout so far. He's now 0 for 7 in the series. Ground out, fly out in this game. And Smyly has him right now 0-2. And a ball inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Trout. 72 RBIs, tops among all American League leadoff hitters. Smyly will wait as Trout steps out on him. Hunter to follow, and then Kendrick, top of the order here in the 5th. Tigers last night managed only 1 run, and they've been shut out so far tonight. Meanwhile, Trout strikes out. Avila's going to have to hurry. His throw is not in time, and Trout beats it out.
Well, that was that speed we was talking about. That kid there can pick him up and put him down.
Boy, can he. Watch this.
Just for a second. Look at that.
And it's not like the ball got so far away from Avila, but it's a wild pitch on strike 3, which allows the runner to reach. So yet another instance in which Smyly's going to have to pitch around something. It'll be Hunter stepping in. Now you've got to keep your eyes on Trout. 41 bags this year. It's one thing to be able to steal 41 bases. He's been caught only 4 times.
Well, that tells me he does his homework. He knows what the pitcher's move is. He knows what this guy's going to do. And he knows the right time to take off. And then he anticipates and he gets there quite often.
There has to be, I would think, an element of instinct to make you a really good base stealer. A lot of guys can run fast, but not a lot of guys can steal bases consistently.
Well, the pitcher does so many different things that their hands start before they deliver to the home plate. They also pick up their back foot. There's a lot of different things that allow you to get that jump to allow you to steal that base as well.
Torrey Hunter, the batter. Torrey in the ball game, a walk and a ground out. He tapped back to the mound. He was back in the 3rd. Angels got 2 in the 3rd and then 1 in the 4th. Hunter sends a ground ball to short. This is looking like 2. There's 1. There's 2. A double play. 6-4-3.
Well, that's how you get yourself out of it right there.
Meanwhile, Fonte did a good job at second base.
Yeah, he knew Trout was coming. But tonight he stays in there and makes a really good throw. Finish that double play. They make it look easy, though.
They do.
They're smooth.
And so Hunter bounces into the twin killing, emptying the bases for Howie Kendrick. Strike call. Did you ever play any infield in your younger days?
Oh, it's a shortstop.
Were you really?
Oh, yeah. But the first day I got to professional baseball, they took that glove away from me and threw me in the outfield.
You just didn't have the smooth enough moves.
No, I didn't. And you know what I told them? Thank you. Because when I watched those Latin guys, the way the ball never touches their glove and it's out. I said they did me a favor.
And outfield is where you landed.
Yes, sir.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Infante and Peralta have really become a pretty good double play combination. They've worked hard together, taking extra ground balls during batting practice. There's a grounder off the glove of the third baseman Baker. Ball was hit hard into left field, and so a 2-out base runner now for the Angels.
Take a look at this, and this ball here takes a nasty hop on Baker here. It was hit well. He wasn't able to get it.
See how they rule this one.
Well, I'm going to rule that one a hit.
It was hit hard enough, I would think.
Yes, it was.
I think it was scalded. Oh, they ruled it in air.
Oof. Tough E there.
Yeah, it is. Here's Strumbo.
I guess this is the big leagues. You got to make that play.
I guess so, but that thing had to be coming at him at 150 miles an hour.
Yes.
0-1 on Trumbo, and he's been twisted in knots tonight by Smiley. Drew has struck him out twice. Had a hit in the ball game last night and scored a run. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trumbo grew up in the shadow of the Big A in Villa Park. It's about 10 minutes from the ballpark in Anaheim, so he was a hometown kid. And here he is playing for his favorite team growing up.
Yeah, that's got to be fun. I got a chance to do that with the Texas Rangers.
Right.
A lot of people, family, friends. They're all excited for you.
Yeah, except your pass list must be 1,000 miles long every night.
Oh, that was the only problem that I did have with being at home, is that everybody wants a ticket. Everybody wants to get in.
Simo, remember me? We were friends in the 2nd grade. Yeah. You got any tickets?
More like kindergarten.
Trumbo waiting on a 2-1. There's a strike, 2-2.
Smiley's got Trumbo thinking a little bit here. I mean, he's kept him off balance. You've seen him out front on a changeup there. He wasn't able to sit back and get that cutter.
And now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
There's that sneaky fastball.
Yeah, it was upstairs, too, to end the inning. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire. The 5th, and Drew Smiley really did a job on Trumbo.
Oh, he did. He did an excellent job of getting him out here. And then this first pitch here, he throws him something soft to get him to think about it. Then he goes hard in on the fastball. And then he goes again just because you have to show him that. And then you're going to throw a get-me-over slider just to throw in. Now you're able to sneak the fastball by this young man who's been doing damage against American League pitchers.
Yeah, not tonight. Smiley has struck him out 3 times. Johnny Peralta leading it off. It'll be Peralta, Avila, and Baker, the bottom 3 in the lineup. Dan Herron has given up 4 hits but no runs. Herron gave up 2 singles, no damage though in the 4th. There's a pop-up foul back out of play. 2-1 on Johnny.
We talk about the offense struggling, but when you see guys taking really good swings, like they've been taking good swings, they're just not centering the baseball right now, and that's just one of those things. It's part of the game. You're going to go through stretches that you're just not centering the baseball.
And Peralta's been going through a bit of a stretch like that right now, especially on this homestand as he fouls it back. It was a 2-1 pitch that he sent back into the seats. Johnny struck out in the 2nd. There's Avila waiting on deck.
Sometimes all it takes is one of those jam jobs to get over the infield and get you going.
Here's the 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's probably what makes the hitting coach's job the toughest job there is, because there's probably always somebody, at least one guy in the lineup who's struggling.
Never changes, never going to change. That's part of it.
That's
too.
Baseball.
It is baseball.
The 3-2 pitch. Right back up the middle into center. And Johnny picks up a leadoff single. Well, I guess it became official, but there was a huge blockbuster deal that was just completed. How about this one? Loney going to the Red Sox, and look at all the Red Sox going the other way to Los Angeles.
Yeah, I mean, these boys are playing. They're ready. They're loading up. They're loading their guns when you talk about Gonzalez. And, well, Crawford's going to be out all year.
Right.
But Beckett, I mean, these guys are a different chain of scenery. Maybe they can go out and help them Dodgers.
Gonzalez is batting cleanup tonight for Los Angeles against the Marlins. So he's right into the biggest spot in the lineup tonight for them.
I've watched him a long time, though, Murray. He's a good hitter.
Boy, is he. There's a strike called on Avila.
Sweet swing.
Power numbers down a little bit this year for Adrian, but he's still a big RBI guy, big average guy. On base percentage. All right, Tigers trying to get it going here. They've actually out hit the Angels now 5-4. Foul tip 0-2. The single here by Peralta gives the Tigers their 2nd leadoff hit, only their 2nd leadoff man to reach in this game. Ball outside.
I mean, Alex, everybody talks about Alex Avila and, not swinging the bat as well, but, I mean, he's got a tough job. I mean, I think when you look at the pitching staff, I mean, he's done an excellent job of making sure that these guys stay on track, and obviously the numbers are down this year. But his job is to make sure that this pitching staff is taken care of.
Here's the 1-2. And I think when catchers get to the professional level, that's probably what's drilled into them immediately. Your number 1 job right now is to develop behind the plate and lead a pitching staff.
No, that's exactly what they're told to do. And that's why I give these guys, especially catchers, I give them so much credit to be able to do what he's capable of doing with the bat as well. And he comes up with big hits, drives the ball to all fields, got a sweet stroke.
Here's the 2-2. Avila takes strike 3. Really? Oh, my goodness. He was punched out on that one by Gary Darling.
Well, you're not going to win that battle arguing with him.
What does Foxtrot say? Apparently just a touch outside on Foxtrot, but close enough for Avila to get rung up. And you also, as a catcher, have to be careful on how much you argue, because you're going to want that pitch as well for your guy.
It's exactly why you don't say anything and you just go back to the dugout. But when he sits down, he'll be able to talk to him a little bit. You ain't going to show him up.
Here's Baker. 6 strikeouts now for Herron. Baker hits a ground ball back to the mound. This may be 2. Oh, he threw it away into center field. Peralta's on his way to third. And the Tigers are in business when a routine double play ball is thrown away by Herron.
Yeah, I saw that coming, Mario. Yeah. That's exactly what happened right there with these two guys. Both of the guys went to the bag, and Herron had to pause for a minute because he wasn't sure who he was supposed to throw the ball to. But with the right-hander up, I think the second baseman has to get the base.
Well, this is the first thing a pitcher does as soon as there's a runner at first base is to figure out who's going to cover the bag. Don't they talk about that?
Well, apparently they didn't talk about it on that play.
No. Because you saw Ibar running in, holding his glove up, and then you saw Kendrick break for the bag as well. So now it's going to have to be Herron to pitch around an error.
Yeah, it's a good break for the Tigers. Let's see if we can capitalize on it.
First error of the game for the Angels. That'll bring the tying run to the plate, Austin Jackson. E1 on that play, and now Jackson, who is 0 for 2. Three to nothing. Angels lead in the bottom of the 5th. Tigers threatening though. Jackson fly ball and a strikeout. And the first pitch is low, 1-0. Well, this is before Baker came to the plate. So apparently they were talking about it.
They talked about it, but the second baseman didn't get there.
Here's the 1-0. Ground ball to short. This might be 2. Let's see. There's 1. Here's the relay. Oh, they turn the double play. How about that? Tigers unable to take advantage. Herron comes through in a tough spot. Of the Angels. Time now for the Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question of the game. You just saw the big deal we talked about. Your question tonight is which team made out the best in that Dodgers Red Sox blockbuster trade? A, the Dodgers. B, the Red Sox. Text ACE, then a space, and then A or B to 37338. And let your opinion be known. In the meantime, here come the Angels now, and they will face Drew Smyly, who so far tonight has struck out 6. Only one of the runs he's given up is an earned run.
Drew's been pitching well today. I mean, he's had a couple miscues behind him, but he's held his composure, kept his poise, and he's back to work.
Yeah, I would agree. Of course, Avila helped him out by throwing out Ibar, trying to steal third, back and forth. Here's Callaspo, 0 for 2 with a couple of ground balls. Here's ball 1. Three runs, 4 hits for the Angels. No runs, 5 hits tonight for the Tigers. Smiley's 1-0. Ball high. 2 balls, no strikes on Alberto Callaspo. He used to be in the American League with the Royals. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And it's fouled back out of play. Callaspo's not a big guy. Has a little bit of power in his bat, though. Hit 11 home runs in 09 with KC, and this year has hit 8.
He can be very valuable to a team, though. He can do all of it. He plays all the positions. Swings the bat, like you said, with a little bit of power. Super utility.
Yeah, those guys really are incredibly valuable. 3 balls, 1 strike to Callaspo.
He's a tough out as well. I mean, he makes the pitcher works, grinds out his at-bats.
And there's a strike. And he's been getting on base at a really outstanding clip in the month of August. He came in with a .422 on base percentage. It seems like the Angels are always operating with a man or 2 on base. Here's the 3-2. It's back out of play. Callaspo, then Morales, and then Ibar here in the 6th. Game 2 in this 3-game series. They wrap it up tomorrow right here at Comerica Park before the Tigers head to KC for 3. Scherzer and Santana tomorrow. He walked it. Leadoff man is on. Back to the studio we go for a game break. Justin White. Thanks very much, Justin. We'll keep our eyes on that game because last night it looked like the Tigers weren't going to lose any ground as Seattle came back with a big 9th inning, but the White Sox won it in a walk-off, and further proving that they're going to hang around.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Oh, and 1 the count on Kendrys Morales. Reaching on an error by Jackson, his first time up, or his last time up, I should say, and he scored a run. Well, I think coming into this season, Craig, I think a lot of folks thought that it would probably be the Tigers and the White Sox down the stretch. Maybe the Indians might be involved, and they had faded, so it looks like it'll be Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah, I did. I thought the Indians would be in, and they were battling early.
Yeah.
And then obviously we know what happened.
There's a ball inside. 2-1.
2-team race now. Couple of head-to-head matchups. Gonna be fun.
Well,
fun baseball.
Yeah, I mean those games are going to be worth the price of admission.
They are.
2-1 on Morales. Now it's 3-1, and Smiley flirting with another walk. Xfinity bringing our pitch speeds. He's been as high as 94 miles an hour tonight.
I said sneaky, but 94 ain't sneaky.
No. He struck out Trumbo 3 times in this ball game tonight. 3-1 in there. 3-2, and Morales disagreed with that call. It's right down the middle. Let's see if Callaspo is on the run here on 3-2. Runner holding, and it's grounded toward third base. Baker fires to second. 1. That's a double play. 5-4-3. Runner stationary, and the Tigers turn that easily. Hey, you can join the Tigers, Red Wings, and other celebrities tomorrow at the Ilitch Charities One Team, One Community Gala at the Soundboard in the Motor City Casino Hotel. Enjoy food and music and an exclusive silent auction. For tickets, call 313-471-6340. Ever been to the Soundboard at the Motor City Casino?
I haven't been, but I'm going.
That's good, man. It's a good place and a great event tomorrow by the Illes Charities. There's a strike called on Eric Ibar. And an RBI double back in the fourth. Smiley approaching 100 pitches in this game as he pushes a bunt foul first base side. 0-2.
Smiley's a Arkansas Razorback kind of guy. Good friends with one of my Texarkana own, Ryan Mallett.
Playing right? That's
football.
right.
Yeah, he's playing for the Patriots. Backup quarterback to Tom Brady.
See, there's that college football in you coming out.
Yes.
And Drew loves to talk about the Razorbacks.
Yeah, he does.
Just get him going. Here's the 0-2. Bouncing ball to third. Baker handles an easy hop there. And that is that. Nothing doing in the sixth for the Tigers. The big boys will be coming up. The expectations all season. The Sluggers have been especially thriving in late game situations, helping the Tigers continue toward postseason dreams. Can they do it again? Find out right now. And as we go to the bottom of the sixth inning, Cabrera and Fielder are due up second and third in this inning. And Craig, in all your playing days and in your days covering this sport now, where does this duo rank with some of the better ones you have seen? I would imagine they're pretty close to the top.
No, they're definitely at the top. I don't think it gets any better. Lefty, righty. These two guys here are a definition of not only power hitters, but really good hitters, intelligent players. Fun to watch.
They are indeed, and hopefully they'll get something going here in the sixth inning. Infante will try and set the table. Omar has fanned twice in this game. And he looks at ball one outside. How about Herron tonight? What has he done really well to keep the Tigers off balance?
Well, he's used both sides of the plate. Obviously, he's throwing that split finger, which is a tough pitch to lay off of, Mario. Keeping the ball down.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That's when it gets tough on hitters. When guys are moving the ball around, they're not setting a pattern, because when they set in a pattern, then all of a sudden I can start to pick my zone out and attack it. But he's not. He's throwing the ball all over the place.
And now it's 1-2 on Infante. Well, we mentioned Herron was struggling in his previous 2 starts coming in, but he got himself a big double play in the 5th. He's won 3 straight against the Tigers. And the 1-2. Drilled toward left center field. That'll get down. Base hit. Wells over to cut it off. Omar trying for 2. Here comes a throw, and he is in there. Oh, a hustling double for Infante.
Well, if you're going to try to get a double there, that's how you get it. You get it out of the box, and that's exactly what Omar Infante did there. He was busting it right out of the box and got himself a good hustle double there. He knew he had the big fellas coming up. He said, I better get into scoring position.
He was also probably saying, I better not get myself thrown out here either. And Wells got to that ball pretty quickly, but he just beat the tag. So now here is Cabrera after the leadoff double. Ball one.
We talk about having confidence as a hitter against a pitcher that you face, that you know you're going to get hits. Well, it's the same thing that kind of works for the pitchers as well. When they feel like they've had some success against a team, they're going to have a lot of confidence going into that start. And obviously we're seeing that in Herron.
Herron now has given up 3 doubles. To this point, none of them have scored. And a ball down low, 2-0.
Well, he ain't going to give in to him right now.
Yeah, this is what you're talking about in terms of being comfortable.
Yeah, that's the confidence level right there. That gives you that confidence saying, hey, I've been in this position. I've been at this ballpark. I know how to pitch here. And obviously the numbers show.
Let's see what he gives him here on 2-0. Strike call. Top part of the strike zone, 2-1. This is what drives opposing managers batty, having to deal with this 3-4 combination.
Yes.
Especially after a leadoff double. And you got that guy waiting on deck. He would be the tying run. That one missed high, and now it goes to 3-1. And you see the danger of pitching around Cabrera. If you take him out of the way and put him at first base, you still got to deal with Prince.
Yeah, you just pretty much picked your poison here.
3-1 on Cabrera. Wouldn't give in. Breaking ball in for a strike. 3-2.
Well, Herron's not going to give in there. I mean, obviously 3-1. It's a great hitters count. You're looking as a hitter. You're looking for a ball out over the plate, middle in, so you can get some extension out front. And Herron flipped in a little slider to keep him off balance on that.
So it's full, 3-2.
I wouldn't be surprised if you throw him another one.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Bingo. And they threw him another one.
Well, when a pitcher shows that he has 3-1, he has confidence in 3-1 to throw that slider there. Then he's going to throw. He feels confident that he's going to throw another one. And that was a really good two-seamer there on the outside part of the plate to get a really good hitter.
It came in at 88 miles an hour, threaded the needle, and that's a 7th strikeout now for Herron. Here is Fielder. And he sends a ground ball to the right side of the infield. Kendrick comes charging in to make the play, and there are 2 gone. So that'll put the runner at third, but Herron has been able to navigate through the 2 difficult hitters. And then we'll see if Delman Young can knock in a run with 2 outs. Tigers somehow, some way got to get this run in. I mean, they just have not had a big hit in this series.
Well, Delman's seeing the ball better. Obviously, he's driving some balls to right center. He's got a couple of hits today. So that tells me he's seeing it. So hopefully he can come up with a big one right here.
Ball 1 high. There's some activity. And the Angels have Jordan Walden warming up. Herron has thrown 91 pitches. Ball outside. Two and 0. Big strikeout of Cabrera, the ground out from Fielder, and the Tigers are left hoping Young can drive in a run.
Well, he's in a favorable hitting count. It's 2-0. It's a hitter's count where guys like to be in. And
drive to left, base hit. Ask and you shall receive. It goes to the wall. A double for Delman, and that's a big run. 3-1.
As Rod would say, I see you.
Yeah, you got to come up with your own shtick.
No. I mean, take a look at this swing here. 2-0, he knows what he's looking for, keeps his head down, drives his baseball, stays through it, drives it to left field, gets himself a double, and drives in a really big run.
Mike Scioscia coming out as well. They've had Walden warming up. And with Andy Dirks getting ready to step in, the Angels skipper comes out.
Mario, I had to pay some tribute, you know. Rod takes off for the day. I got to, like, make his presence still here.
Absolutely. There's nothing
wrong. So I had to throw that out there. That's what they're used to hearing.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, you can spend 3 days playing baseball with former Tigers players and coaches during the Field of Dreams weekend, September 7th through 9. For more information, call 313-471-2550 or visit Tigers.com. So Delman Young has a 2-base hit. He is in scoring position now. Tigers have 7 hits in the game. They trail 3-1. Andy Dirks looks at a ball outside. Tigers now have 4 doubles in this game. 2 of them belong to Delman. They're only 1 for 7 with men in scoring position. There's a little pop up back to short and over the outstretched glove of Ibar. Score another run. Andy Dirks gets it done. And that's going to be it for Herron.
Good swing here. Got it off the end of the bat a little bit, Mario, but we talked about this before. You don't have to hit it hard because in the scorebook, that's going to look like a line drive to the left.
They will that with that short, compact stroke. He's able to flare one just out of the reach of Eric Ibar. And that's going to be it for Dan Herron. They knock him out of the game. It's now a 3-2 ball game. Wallside Windows pitching change. We'll be back. Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota, brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Back here in downtown Detroit, we're at Comerica Park in the Motor City. Mario and Pemba along with Craig Monroe filling in for Rod Allen tonight. Brady Klima is our producer and Mark Isofano our director. On a gorgeous night for baseball here in the Motor City. We have a new pitcher in now for the Angels. That would be Jordan Walden, who has closed games for them in the past. He's made 34 appearances this year. And an elevated ERA of 4.20. Johnny Peralta will stand in with 2 outs. Tigers fighting back with a couple of key 2-out knocks.
Well, it looks like Walden has a tough time with righties. Righties are hitting 295. So hopefully here, 2-7. Peralta can get something going.
Johnny had a single in his last at bat. And he fires home the first at 96 miles an hour, 0-1.
Murray, I have to admit something. I always find myself rooting for that guy with the number 27 on his back, Peralta.
I always wondered about that.
Well, you don't have to wonder no more. I root for this guy all the time.
Let's see if he can do 27 proud here. Ground ball back up the middle, and it's fielded by Kendrick. Maybe next time. However, the Tigers get a couple of runs. They leave a man, and we go to the 7th. Top of the 7th inning here at Comerica Park in game 2 in this series, and the Tigers have made a couple of errors in this game in which the Angels have been able to take advantage. Uncharacteristic in third, Craig, with Omar Infante.
Yeah, normally sure-handed on Omar Infante and Austin Jackson out in center field. But these guys here, they've taken advantage of you. When you get teams, good hitting teams, especially like this Angels team, they're going to capitalize, and they've been able to do that on these miscues, and it's been costly for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's been the difference in this game. Errors by Infante and Jackson leading to a couple of runs, and right now the Angels leading by just a slim 1-run margin as the Tigers go to the bullpen now. Smiley done for the night. Here is Octavio Dotel, and boy, what a signing he has been.
Yeah, I love the interview I've heard with him talking about Leland calling him and talking about telling him his role and what he was going to be used for. That says a lot about Jim, and also says a lot about Dotel. He accepted his role, coming off a World Series championship, and he's coming in and done a great job for the Tigers.
Meanwhile, the numbers on Drew Smiley: he went 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, but only 1 of those was earned, and he punched out 6. All in all, pretty good effort tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, great spot start for Drew Smiley. Definitely a confidence builder when you go out and you can pitch the way he's pitched today.
So we'll see if the Tiger bullpen now can keep the Angels at bay. It'll be Vernon Wells, who homered back in the 3rd. He has 2 hits in this game, a single to go with it. And Wells looks at strike 1. The only member of the Tigers bullpen that is not available tonight is Brian Villarreal. He gets the night off.
Villarreal was outstanding last night.
Yeah, he pitched 2 innings out of the pen. And Jim doesn't typically like to do that, but he did last night with Villarreal. Benoit was not available last night. And it's 0-2 on Wells.
I joked with him coming out of the clubhouse. I told him, you were nasty last night. He started laughing at me.
Well, anybody that throws upper 90s with that breaking ball, he is tough. 26 pitches in the 2 innings last night. Wells takes outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dotel facing Wells, Wilson, and Trout. 8, 9, and 1 in the Angels lineup as we play here in the 7th. Popped up foul, back out of play. 1-2 the count stays. The well-traveled Octavio Dotel, as we mentioned, won a World Series last year with the St. Louis Cardinals. Valuable experience, you would imagine, especially down the stretch for the Tigers bullpen. There is nothing quite like playing in a World Series, is there?
Not at all.
Something that you certainly have experience with. And the 1-2. Popped up foul. And get back out of play.
Well, I think too, Mario, you talk about Dotel being out there in the bullpen, a veteran guy. He's got a couple young guys out there. He's a mentor. And he's looking out for them guys, teaching them and telling them exactly how to get guys out, how to prepare.
Again, the 1-2. In the air center field. Jackson has room for this one, and one gone. Well, just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. Is brought to you as always by Miller Lite. One gone here in the 7th. It's going to bring up Bobby Wilson. Tonight has been on base once, reaching on an error and then scoring a run back in the 3rd. Tigers have out hit the Angels tonight 8-4, but they trail by a run. Checked it, but he went around 0-1. Wilson came in .327 over his previous 20 games. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Tipped into the glove, 0-2.
Well, he'll have his hands full with Dotel with this nasty slider that he throws.
So Wilson now in protection mode, down to the count, no balls, 2 strikes. And he just missed the outside corner with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Dotel just kept looking in there, but he wouldn't get the call by Gary Darling. How do you take that pitch?
I don't know. That's right on the black.
One and two. That's popped up. Shallow center. And Jackson is under it. 2 gone. Let's go back to that trivia question we gave you earlier in the evening. Brought to you by AT&T, who are the only 2 players since 1949 to lead their league in average and steals. You can imagine they're both pretty good, and that would be Jackie Robinson in '49 and Ichiro in 2001. 37 swipes for Jackie and a .342 average. And Ichiro, that rookie year, well, he came over from Japan and immediately made an impact.
.350.
Here's Trout. And a check swing roller to first. Right at fielder, and Dotel does his job. It's a 1-2-3-7. Here comes the stretch. 3-2 Angels. The Angels on top by a 1-run score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Delman Young, his 4th 3-hit game of the season. Tigers offense 26 runs scored during this 8-game homestand. They're trying to pick up the pace here late in the game. Drew Smiley was pretty good in this one. 6 innings, gave up 1 earned run, and he fanned 6.
He really had that cutter working in on those right-hand hitters today. He got a lot of ground balls, broke some bats.
It's good to see, and now we'll see if the Tigers offense can continue to come back here against the bullpen. Alex Avila will lead it off. It'll be Avila, Baker, and then Jackson. First pitch fastball sails outside at 97 from Walden. 6'5", 235. Out of Fort Worth, Texas. It's fouled back out of play. Yeah. There's a bunch of them in the big leagues. Their bullpen, though, has really struggled since the All-Star break. So maybe this bodes well for the Tigers.
Well, they always talk about it. Hey, get the starter out of there, especially when he's pitching the way Herron was pitching.
And in the meantime, their bullpen ERA 5.94, almost 6 since the break. Walden missing outside. Here's a guy that has closer stuff. In fact, he closed for the Angels last year in his rookie season. 32 saves last year for the Halos in 62 appearances. Now the 2-1. Way outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Here's that good hitters count again. 3-1. This is when you can look for one middle in, get the head out.
Garrett Richards warming up in their bullpen. And the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Threw it by him. 3-2. Avila tonight, a strikeout and a ground out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Avila fans for the second time. First strikeout tonight for Jordan Walden.
Well, Walden's had a lot of success against left. I mean, lefties are hitting, right at 200, 220. Good two-seamer away from the left-hand hitters at 97.
Yeah, that one was running away. A lot of movement at that velocity.
Good luck.
Here's Baker. Check swing strike. Baker tonight reaching on an error and flying out. He's 0 for 2. Herron went 6 2/3 in this game. Missed it away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jordan Walden pitched at Grayson County College in Texas, the same college that produced John Lackey. He's fouled back out of play. Former Angel, Red Sox right-hander. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tigers trying to get something going. They've managed 8 hits in this game, but have stranded 5. Mike Scioscia hoping the bullpen can do the job tonight. Bouncing in 2-2. Same 2 teams go at it tomorrow to wind up this series. Tigers have one of their strikeout artists tomorrow. Max Scherzer going. And the 2-2. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Max has been fun to watch, making a couple of adjustments. Now all of a sudden, his over the last few starts, he's been outstanding.
He's been a blast.
Yes.
There's a soft liner to left. Left center field and a base hit for Baker. Tying run is on.
That's got to be pretty cool for those guys, though. JV and Scherzer being at the top. in strikeouts.
Yeah, they've been getting it done all season long. See if Jackson can get it done here with the tying run on, 1 out. The Tigers now have their 9th hit of the game, and here comes Mike Scioscia. See if he's bringing the hook with him, and that point says that he is. So Walden will face 3 batters. Richards will come in. Another pitching change. We step aside. It's 3-2 Angels. Seventh here at Comerica Park. Tigers have a man on, a man out, and time now for the Jimmy John's leaderboard. Got a couple of guys in this series that really know how to get on base. The American League leaders in on-base percentage. Fielder is second only to Mauer. Got Trout in that list. You got Cabrera in the top 5 as well, and so is Austin Jackson. And AJ coming to the plate. New pitcher coming in now as they go right back in the bullpen. Garrett Richards, who earned his first career save last night with a couple of strikeouts in the 9th. Trying to put out a mini fire here in the 7th. Jackson is 0 for 3. Double play ball his last time up. And he looks at strike 1. Richards in his career has gone 7 2/3 scoreless innings against the Tigers. Jackson would love to change that right here. The Tigers got 2 back in the 6th after falling behind 3-0. That is inside, and it apparently caught the home plate umpire, Gary Darling.
That doesn't feel good.
Oh, apparently not. It buckled him a little bit. Here comes Kevin Rand. Where'd he get him? Oh, right in the hand. Ouch.
Tough job for those guys.
That's Gary Darling. And he says he's all right, but he's still feeling that.
Martin, that would have hurt in the morning when he gets up.
It hurt for the next 2 mornings. 1 ball, 1 strike. They're giving Jackson a lot of room to left center field. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on Austin. And he fouls it straight back, 1-2.
You make a good point there too when you talk about they've shaded him to right. if you watch the center fielder, that's one of the things that you can tell also how a team is going to pitch you and how they feel that they can get you out, because they try to take away your strength. And so all of a sudden Trout is over on the other side of second base in the right center, telling me that they're going to pitch him away, and hopefully he hits it that way and they're going to be in position to make a play.
Well, he's behind in the count now, 1-2. See if they stay away. They do, and it just missed the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just off the plate.
But when you have 2 strikes, Tumar, you got to think, let the ball travel back deep a little bit. So they're actually playing him the right way. He's going to look for a ball to let that ball travel a little bit.
Line drive caught by the shortstop. Oh, hit that thing right on the button.
Great swing, great position.
So that'll bring up Infante. And you know Richards is really bearing down on Infante because Cabrera would be next. Infante had a double back in the 6th. Also has a couple of strikeouts in this game. Omar pops it up. Right side of the infield for Howie Kendrick. And that's it for the Tigers. So they get a 1-out single, do not score. Tigers baseball tonight, presented by Bell Tire. In favor of the Angels, and Octavio Dotel is going to go back out there for another inning of work. And the Tigers bullpen in the last 9 games, check out these numbers, Craig. I mean, you talk about keys to winning games, and you know, in situations maybe if your team is down, keeping you in a game, they've done a great job.
Well, it starts with the bullpen. I think the bullpen is the most important for me. Starting pitching and bullpen. When you can get some guys out there like that we have, you know, especially with Dotel and Benoit, who's been outstanding all year long, Koki and those guys, Viriel coming into his own, they're going to keep you in the game.
And they have done just that. Only 3 walks in that stretch, which also helps. Here is Torrey Hunter leading it off as we go to the 8th. Hunter, then Kendrick, and then Trumbo. So Dotel is going to have to work his way through 2, 3, and 4 in the Angels lineup. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Tigers pitching tonight has limited the Angels to just 4 hits. Yet the Angels have the lead. And maybe the biggest number, the 3 errors by Detroit. Here's the 1-1. Inside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Hunter.
And the Tigers been getting some hits, just hadn't had a chance to get that. They haven't got that big blow hit yet to break this game open. They've had some opportunities.
Yeah, and Jim Leland talked about that before the game today. Here's the 2-1. The conversation of Infante not turning the double play, which turned out to be the big play in the loss last night. And Jim said, you know what, that's all fine and dandy, but we got 1 run.
Right.
You can't win scoring 1 run.
That's what I love about Jim. He didn't make any excuses.
No.
Not at all.
2-2. And a foul tip into the glove. Hunter is dispatched. 1 away here in the 8th inning. Well, you can follow the Tigers with MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and a whole lot more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com if you'd like more details. Here's Howie Kendrick. Showing bunting. He lays one down. Here comes Baker on the charge. Barehanded play. Safe. So a bunt single for Kendrick. You got to believe that Trumbo's pretty happy. Smiley's out of the game.
I bet he is too. He kept him off balance all day today. He came in. He went inside. He threw him off speed, sliders, fastballs up in the zone. He had his way with Trumbo today.
Struck him out in the 1st, the 3rd, and the 5th, and so Trumbo now facing Dotel. Trumbo waves and misses. Trumbo has struck out 5 times in this series. Mike Scioscia put him in the cleanup slot here tonight to face the lefty Smiley. He was hitting lower in the lineup last night. 3-2 Angels lead. They have 1 on with 1 out.
It gets tough on a hitter too, like Trumbo today. When guys are throwing the ball away, which got you leaning out over the plate, and then they're brushing you back, and then they're adding and them subtracting with their fastballs and off-speed pitches. It makes for a tough night.
And it's been just that for Trumbo so far. He pops this one up. Got underneath it to the shortstop, Johnny Peralta. Trumbo is out. That'll make him 0 for 4. And 2 gone. Now it'll bring up Callaspo. Switch hitter will bat left-handed against the righty Dotel. Yeah, Mark was muttering to himself as he went back to the bench.
Yeah, he was probably saying, I got one hit there and I missed it.
And popped it straight up instead. Kendrick down at first base has 10 steals this year.
Well, they're an aggressive running team. I'm sure he wants to get in the scoring position. Here's an opportunity to steal a base with 2 outs.
And it's in for a strike. 0-1 on Callaspo. Angels came in with 104 stolen bases. He was good for 3rd in the American League. There are only 4 clubs that have at least 100 stolen bases this year. The Angels are one of them. The 0-1 outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Meanwhile, the White Sox have taken the lead on Seattle now 4-3. That game goes to the top of the 7th. Justin will be giving us the highlights of that shortly. Checked it. Did he go? Yes, he went around. Jerry Meals. One and 2. Just 5 hits tonight for the Angels. A home run by Wells, RBI double by Ibar, RBI single by Kendrick. 2 of the errors for the Tigers tonight coming around to score. And the 1-2. Soft line drive out of the reach of Johnny Peralta into left field, and that'll advance Kendrick to second. Callaspo sprays one the other way.
Just out of the reach. It's always tough for the shortstop, I think, when you play the left side of the field, when the lefty gets inside of it and hits the ball, because it's going to just keep running away from you, and Peralta wasn't able to make that play.
And what it does is keep the inning going now for Kendrys Morales as the Angels try and extend their 3-2 lead. Morales hit into a double play his last time at bat. There goes the bat, and he fouled it back out of play.
You got to be paying attention these days, and over in the dugout over here, these guys are throwing the bats everywhere.
We played a series earlier in Texas this year where Josh Hamilton, I think, launched it 3 or 4 times in a game.
Wow, on deck ain't safe.
No, it's not. I think it was Beltre. Beltre was hitting behind Hamilton, decided that from now on he was going to sit in the dugout, not in the on-deck circle.
I don't blame him.
He was afraid for his life. That's back out of play. Now it's 0-2 on Morales. So Dotel trying to pitch out of this jam here in the 8th. Otavio had a 1-2-3 7th, but a couple of singles here in the 8th inning. And the 0-2. Grounded foul. Meanwhile, other news from some of the other games out of town. How about Adrian Gonzalez, who was traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers in his first at bat? 3-run Jimmy Jack.
Sometimes all it takes is a chain of scenery.
Apparently so. Now the Dodgers are celebrating. Inside, good stop by Avila. That National League West, an intriguing division when you look at San Francisco. Of course, they've lost Melky Cabrera, and the Dodgers came in 2.5 out.
Well, they loaded up. They got a couple really good players.
San Francisco 7-3 since Melky was suspended. Had missed outside. 2-2 the count. That San Francisco pitching staff pretty good.
Well, we always talk about that, Mario. Pitching always wins. Good pitching beats any good hitting.
Certainly makes a big difference in postseason play, especially. 2-2. High fly ball toward left. Delman Young cruising over toward the line, and he'll make the catch and foul ground. Angels threaten but do not score. Go to the bottom of the 8th. Back here at Comerica Park as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, Tiger bats will come to the plate here down by a run, and they've got a couple of big bats coming up. It'll be Cabrera, then Fielder, and then Delman Young. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Angels, 2 runs, 9 hits for the Tigers. Richards back out there as Cabrera digs in, and Miguel looks at ball 1. Strikeout and a couple of fly balls tonight for Miguel.
That means he's due.
He is due. He has 32 homers, 106 driven in. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strikes. How about some of these numbers since the break?
Those numbers there are just, those are scary.
14 home runs since the All-Star break. The Mazda scouting reports tonight on Cabrera. Here's the 2-0. Swinging a drive. Right center field and deep. That ball is way back and off the wall. No, it's caught. Are you kidding me? Hunter took that thing in right center field. What a play.
You see the little nod there. Just cool, calm, and collected. That's Spider-Man out there. He can run him down.
Torrey Hunter can still cover acres. And Cabrera can't believe it.
That one had double written all over. Nice play here. Look how he knows where he's at the field. This is not his ballpark, and he still knows where he's at to make the play.
That's a good point. This is not his ballpark, especially in that right center field area. You've got the little triangle that can be tricky.
Yeah, it can be really tricky. But he knew where he was. He looked back. He found the wall. Made a great play.
So now here is Fielder. 9 gold gloves in the outfield for Torrey Hunter. Whether it's center, whether it's right, doesn't even matter with this guy. And he is playing really deep right now with Prince up there. Single double for Prince. Cabrera, it's criminal to hit a ball that far and have nothing to show for it. Here's the 2-0. And that's a strike, 2-1. There's that power the other way that Leland keeps talking about, that he has never seen anyone have that type of power the opposite field.
I haven't really played or seen it either.
It's pretty amazing. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike.
I mean, he hits balls out. I mean, hit ball to right center like a lefty pulling them.
7 of his home runs have gone to right field. 7. And the 3-1. 3-2 on Prince. Well, the Angels have rolled out a couple of guys that throw upper 90s. They threw Walden out there, and now Richards throws hard.
Staying away too. He's spotting it outside.
Fouled away. A couple of those were out of the strike zone that were called strikes.
And yeah, and that's tough on the hitter too, Mario, because you have to expand your zone now, and if they're going to call it, then you've got to be able to attack that ball and approach it most of the time, and sometimes that gets you out of your game plan and what you like to do as a hitter.
3-2 on Prince Fielder. 1 out in the 8th and a 3-2 ball game. Here it is. Line drive to left. Prince just simply beats the shift and goes the other way. Or ignores the shift is more accurate. And so Prince has his 3rd hit.
Well, he has a couple strikes on him here. He lets that ball travel, let it get deep a little bit. And like I said, when that fastball 97, 98 outside, he's just hitting line drives the other way.
So Fielder now gives the Tigers an even 10 hits in this game. And he is the tying run aboard. Here is Delman Young, who has 3 hits tonight. 2 doubles plus an RBI. Got a big rip.
Really good swing right there. He likes that cheese.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
He's not bashful either.
No. But he'll jump on it.
What kind of cheese is that, by the way? Cheddar?
Cheddar cheese.
Little Colby Jack. 0-1. High fly ball. Straightaway center field. Trout coming in on it now. And so Delman is out. First time they've gotten him tonight.
Yeah, well, Richards, he got away with one there. And Delman will be the first one to tell you. He got away with this hanging slider that normally don't come back. Take a look at that. That thing's just spinning, Mario.
Oh,
those are the ones that go far.
You're not kidding. Did your eyes light up when you saw those?
They got big. That's probably what happened. Your eyes get too big and you miss it. Get under it a little bit.
I can see that swing, man. I can see that SEMO swing right now. Ball flying into the seats and left.
You don't feel them. I love it.
Yeah. There's a strike called on Dirks. Well, you made this point earlier. The Tigers have had really, really good swings. It's just not a matter of centering the baseball.
And unfortunately, you're going to go through those stretches. As a hitter, you hate it.
Way outside, 1-1. Well, Dirks had an RBI single. It came with 2 outs in the 6th. Delman 3 for 4 tonight. Now the 1-1. Line drive, base hit right field. Prince on his way to second and beyond. He's going to third, head down. And he's in there standing up. Now the tying run at third base.
This ball coming off the bat of Dirks is hot. Prince had to get out of the way.
Look out.
And then look at it motor. Get to third base. He plays the game the right way.
100%. He runs hard every single time.
Does it with a smile.
He does. Which is a great part of his game as well. Mike Butcher is out. Having a chat now with Richards. First and third. We remind you to join us again tomorrow afternoon. More baseball as the Tigers wrap up their series with the Angels. Coverage begins at 12:30 with Tigers Live. Tigers baseball tomorrow at 12:30 right here on Fox Sports Detroit. So the skipper now looking for another 2-out hit. Meanwhile, Dirks 2 more knocks tonight. And the Tigers have 11 hits in this game, but to this point only 2 runs. Looks like they've got some folks warming up in their bullpen now. LaTroy Hawkins, the veteran, who's been around forever.
Forever. Good friend of mine too, LaTroy Hawkins.
3.72 ERA, getting it done this year.
I'm moving out to their neck of the woods.
Is it Texas,
Prosper, Texas.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. Well, here's Peralta. Ball inside, 1-0. Johnny is singled in 3 at bats. He has Prince at third base, the tying run. Dirks at first base, the go-ahead run. Get back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers had 5 2-out hits tonight. They could use another one right here to tie this one up. In the meantime, in the Tigers bullpen, Joaquin Benoit and Jose Valverde. Tigers take the lead here, and it's going to be Valverde. Johnny waiting on a 1-1. Line drive. Over the left field line. Prince will score. Dirks coming at third. They send him home. And he'll score. Oh, what a big hit for Johnny Peralta. to Comerica.
It's electrifying out here.
By the way, that's a little number 27 magic.
That's 27 clutching up and coming through big.
27 coming through for Simo tonight. 12th hit of the ball game. Peralta with a huge knock. And it's 4-3 Detroit, their first lead of the night.
Take a look at this. Rich he's been establishing that fastball. He likes the fastball a lot. Well, he tried to sneak the cheese by the rat, and the rat said, "I've got to take a bite out of that one." This is what you have to do right here, Mario. You got to get the head out. You know this guy throws hard. Get the front foot down and allow the hands and the backside to come through. And that's exactly what Peralta did. And that's why he was able to drive that ball down the line for a big 2-out double.
Tigers have the lead 4-3. Pitching change for the Halos. We'll be back. Two-out hit, and Johnny Peralta provided one. A two-run double to put the Tigers on top for the first time tonight, 4-3. And now the new pitcher coming into LaTroy Hawkins. What can you tell us about LaTroy? He's been around a while.
Well, he's got a nice fastball, upper 90s. He's going to try to locate it. He hides the ball very well, so you have to be ready to hit because his ball jumps up on him. And he throws a slider. He likes his slider a little bit.
Well, lefty's batting just 208 against him. Now Avila with a chance to get an insurance run in here. And that would be nice. LaTroy Hawkins has played for 9 different teams in 18 seasons in the major leagues. 4-3 Detroit. Avila sends a line drive. Base hit right field. Peralta comes around to score. It's another two-out knock. This place is loud tonight.
Yeah, it is. This one is fun when the crowd get in it. I love it.
Avila wasting little time. 3 straight two-out hits. That one plates Peralta. 5-3 Detroit. It's a 3-run 8th inning. And a big swing by Baker, 0-1.
Well, we talked about it earlier too, Mario, how the bullpen has been struggling. The Halos bullpen's been struggling, and they continue to struggle again tonight. Good for us. The boys come out. They just waited it out. Herring was good, and then he comes out and bullpen. They get to him.
Here's the 0-1 coming to Baker. And a ground ball back up the middle. That's going to find a hole. Base hit. Everybody hits in this inning.
Ain't that how it seemed to work? Everybody. Then all of a sudden you get those couple big hits and then everybody hits.
4 straight hits, and here are the numbers on how their pen has been imploding since the All-Star break. And tonight they've given up 6 hits, 3 runs in 2 innings.
That ERA is up around 6. Means they've been getting touched up a little bit.
All 5 runs for the Tigers coming with 2 outs. Now Jackson. Might as well keep scoring. And Jackson looks at strike 1. AJ tonight is due. He is 0 for 4 on a night where the Tigers have 14 hits. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You talk about how big Peralta and Avila and what they mean to this team. Awesome to see those 2 guys getting back to form, you know, coming up with big hits for this team down the stretch, because they're going to be needed.
Yeah, the Tigers lineup is going to have to be a lot deeper than it has been, and it certainly has been tonight. Jackson sprays 1 foul back out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I mean, take a look at what they're doing today, though. Here's the guys that are not trying to do too much. They're taking what the opposition gives them. You're going to give me a single, I'm going to take it, and they're sending the baseball. I told you, they've been having some really good at-bats. Now they're starting to center it, and that's what you have to have when you want to drive in some big runs.
When they got Delman to fly out, that was the 2nd out of the inning, but then 3 make it 4 straight hits. Now Hawkins with the 1 coming home, and he missed it high, 2-2. Meanwhile, the Angels will have their bottom 3 hitters when we get to the 9th. Richards last night was able to pick up the save. Tonight, much different story. Here's the 2-2. Way high. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Well, how about that?
Well, they've been getting it done with 2 outs with runners in scoring position.
Infante waiting on deck. Here comes that crowd again. Almost 42,000 jammed into the ballpark tonight. And the 3-2, and a bouncing ball to short. Here comes Ibar. Off balance throw is in time, ending the inning. A big inning it was, though. The Tigers take their first lead of the night. We go to the 9th. All time now for the Angels. 5-3 is our score. The Tigers take the lead with a 3-run bottom of the 8th, electrifying the crowd here. And here is the upcoming pitching matchup for tomorrow, presented by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety. You were talking about this a little bit earlier, Simo, that Max Scherzer's been awfully exciting to watch this year.
He has what we call, too, that same sneaky fastball where he hides the ball so well. And anytime that you're 97, 98, and you're also able to change some speeds with a good slider and a really good curveball, it makes for a long night for the hitter.
And so hopefully it'll be a long day tomorrow for the Angels. Meanwhile, Jose Valverde coming in to try and nail this one shut. This will be his 54th appearance of the year. Valverde 25 out of 29 in save opportunities. And we've got some defensive changes as well for the Tigers. Ramon Santiago now comes in to play third base, and Quinton Berry will play left field.
QB.
Q's just waiting for something to clap about.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably clapping on the bench, though.
I root for him, though. I like this guy.
Everybody does. Yep.
He's a likable kind of guy. Humble.
So here is Eric Ibar, the 7, 8, 9 hitters due up here for the Angels in the 9th, and Valverde trying to protect a 2-run lead, 5-3. Ibar with an RBI double in the game, 1 for 3. And he shows bunt and looks at a strike. He watched that one into the glove of Avila. Santiago creeping in at third base in case Ibar lays one down.
Well, that's a good sign. Papa Grundy getting ahead.
Real good sign. Tigers got him an extra run, 2-run spread. Here's the 0-1. Bouncing ball right side. Prince has it. And he'll take it himself. One gone. Important first batter is out.
Always important to get that first one. That first one seemed to, if you don't get that first one, it seemed to just start a big rally, a big something that can happen. And that was a great job by him about getting him out of that.
Vernon Wells now will bat with 1 out. Tiger pitching has limited the Angels tonight to 6 hits, yet they led for a good part of this evening, 3-0. And Valverde whistles in a strike, 0-1. It was Wells that got the Angels on the board first with a solo shot to lead off the third off Drew Smyly. Let's not forget that he pitched a pretty good ball game tonight.
No, he did.
Here's the 0-1. Popped him up. Prince says, I'll take it. 2 gone. One more out to get. Here comes the crowd.
I'm gonna get to see Papa Grundy do his dance.
Yes, you will.
Live and in person.
Well, let's hope so. One more to get.
Come on, Biggin.
You just called him Biggin?
Yeah.
Is Turris batting for Wilson. Angels need a base runner here to try and get Trout to the plate. Strike 1.
He's tough when he's in the strike zone like that with that kind of movement.
Well, he's gotten the ground out from Ibar, the pop up from Wells, and now is Turris in a pinch hitting role. Played in last night's ball game. And he checked it. Did he go? Did not. One ball and 1 strike. How about this? Meiser is Turris is 0 for 18 as a pinch hitter this year.
Pitch hitting is tough. I think I was 0 for 14.
Were you really?
Yeah.
The 1-1 is all inside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
I mean, you've been watching all game. Tough to get loose. Fastball seems like 90-mile-per-hour fastballs seem like they're 100 when you get in there. Breaking balls a little sharper.
2-1 on his Turris. Slap back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Papa Grande needs 1 more strike. 41,970, having a blast here, especially late in this game. A lot of key knocks in that 8th inning. Here's the 2-2 coming home. Back up the middle. Johnny has it on 1 hop. His throw is in time. Let's dance.
Do the dance, Papa Grande.
Papa Grande with a 1-2-3 9th inning. And the Angels with a comeback win here tonight. On a night where they just couldn't seem to get the big hit until it counted the most. It's a good win for this ball club tonight.
That was a great win. Now tomorrow you got a chance to come out and win a series.
Welton, RBI double. Avila knocked 1 in the 8th. A lot of big hits for the Tigers with 2 outs in this game. Papa Grande doing his dance. And whatever else he does.